Hello and welcome to a very special conversation here on WION. I'm Digvijay Singh, and my guest today is someone who needs no introduction. Delighted to be joined from Rome by men's singles world number 5 and two-time Grand Slam finalist as well as Red Bull athlete, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Thank you for your time, Stefanos.
Thank you for having me.
You're in Rome for the Italian Open. It's the final big event ahead of the French Open. How do you assess your game heading into the second slam of the year?
Well, my game has been all right. I've been better for sure. I've had better results coming up to the French Open, but I really hope I get to do something this week in terms of getting a big result. That's something that I'm hoping for. I feel like I can. That's also the main reason. I've had a few quarterfinals in the last few tournaments and a final in Barcelona, which let's say the final in Barcelona I'm kind of happy with, but I'm looking for more consistency regarding points, regarding big results, and I'm hoping to prove myself these next 2 weeks.
Okay, you've always done well on clay. You won Madrid a couple of times. Are you sort of disappointed with the fact you say you're playing very well? Are you disappointed then that you haven't been able to close out a title this year?
I mean, look, I've dealt with an injury a few months ago, and it put me down. Like, wasn't feeling great. Every single day I would wake up and feel purposeless in a way because I knew I couldn't push to 100%. The fact that I'm able to feel normal now and feel like no injury or um, nothing sort of uncomfortable puts a stop at me. That's a great feeling already. I'm just hoping to stay healthy. That's the most important thing. Of course, results are very important and are, not just my expectations, but everyone's expectations. And I just need to keep proving myself week after week.
Look, it's an important point you make, that what is the larger goal? Because sitting on the outside, we look at everything as a very cold stat, victory or defeat. But your friend, Giannis Antetokounmpo, made a very interesting point a couple of weeks ago, that there is no such thing as failure as sport. You look at the overall picture. It's sparked some interesting reactions. As a professional athlete at the highest level, do you agree with that?
People look at the big things, and once you fail a little bit, it's not sort of part of your journey, and it's not supposed to be like this. It doesn't just feel right. And Giannis made a great point there. Michael Jordan has won a lot of things and has been considered a legend of a big sport in the United States and all across the globe, which is basketball. He has done some incredible things, but also he had seasons where it just didn't go his way, and it ended on a loss. It ended on a sort of not the best result that the team was hoping for. And these sort of things are not remembered as much, and only the glory is the only thing that remains. So it is important to go through these obstacles, and it is important to go through this. I like to call them sort of stops, where you feel like you're not really proceeding, you feel like you're not really developing. Of course, it is not the best time to kind of be witnessing that, but it's all part of sport. It's all part of the process, and I think you just have to remain strong mentally to accept it, and to try and change it yourself. The mentality is such an important thing in sports, and I think Yanis has contributed a lot in that.
I want to take you back to January, your second Grand Slam final. And for the second time, you faced Novak Djokovic. It's been two contrasting results. It was his 22nd, but Grand Slam glory is what you all chase for. So how did you deal with that loss?
Well, it was not that it was a 5-set thriller that we played. It did get very close in the third set with a tiebreaker. But yeah, it was a few points away from me capturing the third set. I honestly felt like I was playing well, but I felt like he was somehow controlling the match. So that's the feeling I got. It was disappointing to lose, but I was able to convert myself pretty fast into feeling normal. And it's definitely a dream of mine, and I spent countless of hours visualizing before the final of how this is my dream, this is my moment, this is the just remembering me as a kid, dreaming of this exact moment and how much I would wanna lift that trophy. And I don't know if that puts pressure or not, but it's a dream, and it kind of feels surreal when you're about to step out on the court and be in that sort of position to play such a big final. Uh, because just all of your memories kind of flow in, and it can be sometimes kind of overwhelming. But I'm happy I was able to play such good tennis there. I don't see that as a curse that I lost the final. I don't see that as a sign that I should be stopping. It in contrary, it kind of motivates me to keep on going and just trying to um, push myself to the limits of what I can. It's a great sort of part of my story, playing that first final on a hard court Grand Slam. For me, Roland Garros felt much more, in a way, natural to be in the final because I was actually feeling really good at that period of time, and there was nothing surprising to me that I was in the final. I was playing very good tennis, very concentrated, and I feel like the Australian Open was more of a had more of a sort of a big impact on me than the French Open.
You also had a chance of getting to the world #1 ranking had you won in Australia. Do you feel a bit jealous when you see Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic sort of exchange that ranking? Or do you, as you said, you've got to be patient and look at the larger picture that you win the Grand Slam, you will be world #1 someday?
There were a lot of things at stake during that Australian Open final, and one of them was the #1 spot, which I was. It is crazy because before the season started, I said it out loud that I want to be #1 in this season right now. I want to finish world #1, and fast forward 1.5 months later, I'm fighting for that world #1 spot, and I'm like, wow, I'm really close. I can really pull this off. I just need to hang in there. If I feel jealous about my peers, no, I don't feel jealous. You know, they've earned it. They've earned it. They play great tennis. They've been extremely professional in what they do. I think if only there's one thing that I can just take away from this is, well, if they can, then I can too, and I see no reason for me not to. So I will take my time. I'm not in a rush. This is a marathon, so I'm gonna take my time and work appropriately to make this happen because it's a long journey in front of me. There are a lot of years on the tour.
And also to win a Grand Slam, you have to win 7 matches in your mind. Who are the biggest threats to you lifting that title in Paris in what, 4 weeks' time?
Well, so far it has been Novak Djokovic for sure, uh, from stopping me from that, which which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing that there is a guy that is such a tough competitor for me and sets sets in a way limits to me, and I'm trying to go beyond those limits and figure it out. For sure, Carlos Alcaraz is obviously a big competitor, and he would be someone that uh, sets the bar high. Guys like Daniel Medvedev too. I feel like now we have so many of good players that can compete against each other and fight for titles. That is, I can count them on my, uh, maybe not even on my fingers, maybe a few times. Andrei Rublev is a great player in my opinion, who has been underperforming in Grand Slams, who can play really good tennis. I just want to say that the competition is high, and you have to be more physical, and you have to be more technical than ever before.
Okay, just want to pick up on that. You mentioned some big names because it's been a very interesting season. 20 different players actually went through the ATP side. 20 different players winning singles titles in 27 tournaments, with Roger Federer retired, Rafael Nadal sidelined, and Djokovic playing intermittently. In your opinion, has the gap sort of definitely closed between the rest of the field?
Yes, it is possible, and we've been seeing that in the last couple of years that it's kind of other people taking over. Novak is still very fit in terms of capturing those Grand Slam titles, which is it's still impressive. I won't lie. that he has the patience and he has that determination to keep on going. Yeah, the format is changing. Tennis is becoming much more aggressive. Tennis is becoming much more daring in a way. There's the points are shorter, and that sort of new phase, that new generation of tennis players is I would say interesting. There are a few interesting personalities out there, and I feel like the exciting thing about the future is that a lot of us are going to be sharing Grand Slam titles, I believe, if um, if Carlos Alcaraz becomes a little bit less selfish. Yeah, it's going to look pretty interesting, I believe.
You know, I've always sort of admired the honesty that you've brought and your thought process as well, and you haven't disappointed me again. Stefanos, thank you for your time. Hope you have a good run in Rome and then go deep at the French. You did tell me last time that when you win that maiden slam, you will take the trophy to the Parthenon in Athens. So, waiting to see those pictures. All the best.
That would be lovely. Thank you so much.